The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
Picking boogers on a Saturday night. Oh.
Dum, 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 dum. Sorry, man.
Welcome to a new episode of 5-Minute Warning. Of course, it's your boy in the headset. I am Ruben. And of course, you see the one and only dumb guy, Mo B. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know, man. That SVU thing's been just in my head, man.
I mean, so I see you've changed you fixed up your room area a little bit.
No,
man.
A
bunch of dogs back there.
No, see, I tell you what happened, right? My area where the computer desk is still there, but either I'm incredibly large now, or the chair is incredibly old. But the chair I normally sit in, like, it pretty much said, "Nah, dog, we ain't doing it no more." So I had to reconvene to the little couch up here. So really, I just moved where the computer's facing, because my computer stuff is still literally right over here. I just moved. I decided to give that old antique chair a retirement party. It's upside down right now to make sure nobody sits in it.
I mean, is it broken or something?
Yeah, it's pretty much gone. It's over. Yeah, it's gone. Like, it had a good like 30, 40 years.
Okay. Well,
Time for it to go.
I mean, you're gonna do like some taps in the backyard and throw it in the trash can then, or you gonna break it up? Or?
I'm gonna give it an honorable send off. I'm gonna probably break it up and put it in the fireplace and let it,
become part of the house
one last time. Let it burn one last time.
Let it burn, let it burn. And the dog behind you, is that a Georgia Bulldog?
I mean, is there another one?
Whoa, player. There are a lot of bulldogs out here. I'm just making sure.
Look, man, there's only one team right now that I feel comfortable talking about, and that's my daughter's football team.
Okay. Still undefeated?
Yes.
Nice. I mean, she's still doing that work in the trenches?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell if they're good, but
or the opponent's bad.
I mean, no, some the first two games, I think the opponent wasn't that good. This last game, I'm pretty sure they weren't.
So
and now I'm going to talk about that later on What's on Your Mind. But yeah, it was a lot to a little, and it wasn't very entertaining.
So I'm gonna put it out there for all intents and purposes. Washington got a little boat race today. It was sad. It was real sad. Like it was sad. I mean,
I guess it was sad to be there.
Well, the score is what it was, man. But it was 24-0 at halftime. Like, and he had already thrown for 3 touchdowns at 300 yards. Like, I mean, because here's the thing. My thing was that we need to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball because he only had 1 passing touchdown. Well, he pretty much showed everybody he could pass the ball.
He said,
and score touchdowns. Yeah, pretty much.
Beer, bro.
Pretty much. So, I mean, but I will give the defense all the credit because, man, I mean, our offense played like booty. Complete, utter ass. And the defense made 3 points. Of course, you give up 7. Then another 3. Like, there's only so much the defense can do when it becomes not their fault. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Wentz couldn't get it together today. And then, of course, somebody asked Rivera, so you going to make a change? What? What's this $28 million? He will stand there till his legs fall off. And his arm fall off.
So basically, because y'all pay him, you basically saying you're willing to burn the season down because y'all paying him $28 million.
I'm saying that it's game 3. And it's not like he's looked horrible the first 2 games. So it's one of those things where next week we got Dallas. We'll be lucky enough to get Cooper Rush, hopefully. But the word on the street is they trying to get Dak ready to play next week. I think they're a fool, and if he allows it, he's a bigger fool. But hey, I just think that I think that next week in Dallas we'll see. I'm not. My thing is.
So how many L's you gotta take before you willing to not worry about that $28 million?
How many L's? Probably. Real talk, honestly, if we're out of the playoffs by like week 10, because we'll have 10 games, we'll know where we are by then. And it's just, that's pretty much where it is. When the season's done early, because once we pull him, he's gone. We're not going to pay him next year. Because remember, he's got 2 years left on his contract. But if we release him, we owe him nothing. So, if anything, he is playing for the right to play for next year, one as a starter, either with Washington or someone else. Because nobody's going to pay him that $28 million next year. And the only team who would pay him would be us. But once again, it's 1 week. I'm not going to sit here and kill the dude. I just think that he needs to let the ball go. And I think it's funny how people talk about the fact that, well, he puts the ball in harm's way sometimes. I would rather him somehow put the ball in harm's way than not throw it all. Because there are a couple sacks that are not on the offensive line. You just held the ball too long.
You might be the first person in football that prefers turnovers.
No, it's not that I prefer turnovers. What I prefer is to him to throw the damn ball.
Well, you just said you'd rather him put the ball in harm's way than hold it. You put the ball in harm's way, that leads to turnovers. Most people in football would actually rather a quarterback take a sack than throw an interception.
And it's funny that you say that because he did fumble the ball twice. One we got back and one we didn't. So my thing is, if he's going to put the ball in harm's way, let's not put it in harm's way on our 25. Put it in harm's way on their 30. Because if you're going to cough with the ball, don't do it on our side. But that's the only way. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's apples, oranges.
He is what he is, man.
But the thing about it is, he's not horrible, and I would say that he is worthy of a starting position at this moment in comparison to some other. Let's be real. Jacoby Brissett. I'd rather have Wentz than Jacoby Brissett. Now, with that being said, I will say this. The other issue that we have is, bro, man, I don't know what's going on with Scott Turner, our offensive coordinator, who calls plays. The dude, we've seen like 3 Scott Turners. There's the Scott Turner who started the season off. We scored on the first 2 drives against Jacksonville. Then we see another Scott Turner who completely disappeared in the middle of that game. And then we see the other Scott Turner who comes back and, calls a great fourth quarter. Then we see a Scott Turner in the first half of the Lions game. We don't know who that guy is because he's calling crap. Then you see a Scott Turner in the second half of the Lions game who's calling everything perfect. And then you see Scott Turner this one, which I would say it's a Scott Turner of the first half of the Lions game who can't call his way out of a paper bag. So like, because a lot of the plays were like long, it takes a while for the play to hit. And what was Philly doing? Slants, 5-yard passes, and the boys were taking them. I mean, don't get it twisted. AJ Brown's a beast, and Smith played like a beast today. But a lot of those passes, man, 5-7-yard passes, and they just take it to the house, or they take it. They got that yak, man. Like, I need to look at that yak because they got a lot of it. All I'm saying is, it wouldn't hurt to have a crossing play, or a slant. Can we get one? Just saying. But
I'm just saying, it's weird when people talk about offensive coordinators that way, because when the plays are working, he's great, and when they're not, it's his fault. At what point in time does it have to be like, hey, maybe the guys on the field just ain't that damn good?
Well, but here's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna say that a lot of this wasn't Carson's fault, but like, we started the game 3 pass. Okay, I think 2 of those are sacks. Awesome. Then the next time we get the ball, another pass, and then we're so far deep in our end zone, we run the ball. McKissick, he gets like 6 yards, but it's too late then. So we just try not to get a safety. Then the next time we run the ball. We run the ball. We actually did pretty decently on the ground for the times that they was called. And I'm not saying, I am saying we probably should have ran the ball more. At least tried. Hey, take a shot deep. I'm not saying, just let them know, hey, we'll throw it out there. That's all I'm saying, man. But no, Wentz deserves a lot of it because he didn't play very well. And then we dropped some passes and we missed some passes and all that stuff. And, the other thing is, on a very sad note, we heard a lot of EAGLES Eagles. And I was like, well, at least the Philadelphia school system taught them how to spell. So I was happy for that, because we got a lot of that.
That was a little bit of hate right there.
That was hate. That wasn't a little bit of hate.
I'm just saying, not.
But that was happening before, like, they even scored. It's like, oh my God, really?
Look, it's not the Eagles fans' fault that even Washington people don't want to show up to their games.
No, I say it was. I say it was a lot of Washington fans there. But however, the away side,
it should be it was in Washington. So
yeah,
should be a lot. The fact that you have to mention that is kind of an issue.
Well, you mentioned that, I didn't.
If you're noticing all the fans spelling out Eagles, that means there was a significant amount of them there.
Well, they had buses come from Philly. So, like, it wasn't a shock. And plus it's an NFC East rival. What is it, 6 hours away? That's not a shock, So, like, if you see a whole bunch of Eagle fans in Dallas,
I bet it won't be that many Washington fans in Philly.
That'll be interesting.
I bet it won't be that many Washington fans in Philly.
Well, because Philly does things like buy all the tickets, so I ain't mad at that. But I would say, like, compared to last year, there are a lot more Washington fans this year. So, it is what it is, man. But we're not gonna labor that anymore. Stop it. We're not gonna labor that. I was
giving y'all a slow clap for having fans.
Yeah, shut up. But ODU won. They were down 12-0 at halftime. Came back and won their first Fun Belt conference game. So that was dope against the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Can't remember. Miami got smacked. The Hurricanes. Can't believe that. And my fantasy team won. So I went 2 for 4 this week. What about you?
What about me?
Did the Raiders win?
No.
I don't really know.
No, they did.
Are they 0-3?
Yeah.
Are you shocked that they're 0-3?
Not at all.
Did you expect it to be 0-3?
Not really.
Did you expect? Because they were talking playoffs. Is that even a thing now?
I never was talking playoffs because
I said they were. I'd say you.
I'm just saying, you know how I've stood on that. As soon as we hired McDaniels, I was like, hey, when are people gonna learn that when you hire Belichick people, the chances of it working aren't good. Unless they're black, and then you got to find another reason to fire them.
Shots fired. All right. So Moco Cowboy, are there buses that go from DC to Philly? Probably not, because who in the hell wants to go to Philly? Like, let's be real. They got a jail in their stadium. Who wants to go there? But I don't know. I don't know how the Philly buses got even like set up. Like, I don't know who set that up. I think that's funny. Let's see. Black Morticia Adams here. I guess he's an Eagles fan. Huh? Great. Yep. Carson came and Carson Wentz his ass back home. Thanks. Appreciate you. God, the hate is real out here. And at 3-0. So
I mean, you hated on them for being able to spell Eagles. Like,
I did.
Somehow, if you're a Philly fan, that means you're incapable of literacy.
I mean, let's be real.
Nah. You don't want to start the sentence off with "let's be real" if you're about to compare the Washington D.C. school system with anybody in a negative light.
Hey, first of all, did you hear me say anything about the Washington D.C. school
Well,
system?
first of all, you said you were impressed that they could spell, which generally is an indoctrination of the school system.
It's about to be a rain delay in the Yankees game. Aaron Judge, is he going to hit 61? I mean, it won't be against the Red Sox. Let's just be honest.
I mean, probably.
Well, he ain't going to hit it against the Red Sox. That shit ain't happening. That would be like the worst thing that happened to Boston if they allowed Aaron Judge.
Oh, why?
Because, man, the Red Sox and the Yankees loathe each other, and they refuse to give the Yankees anything. Anything. I don't know who we play on Monday or Tuesday, but that's when it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen today. It's not. I knew it won't going to happen this weekend, even though, everybody's like, hey, put the New York-Boston game on TV. I'm like, for what? They will walk his ass 12 times or 16 times before they
care about baseball at all for any reason.
I'm just saying, they're going to walk him before they give him anything. That's just what it is, man.
You're probably right.
I mean, they've walked him like 10 times already in this series. So, yeah, I expect that. I mean, the last time he did go at bat, it was a pop fly. And the only reason it was a pop fly, from what Barry Bonds said, is he swung late. If he had hit it on time, it probably would have been gone. But he swung late, and he hit it late. And if Barry Bonds says it, I'm going to believe him. But, yeah, man, other than that, I mean, that's sports for you. So, before we get into our stuff today, one more thing. Head coach of Boston, man. Like, I am inclined to say Boston did him dirty by putting his business down the street, because they could have just suspended him and said he broke team rules, and that was it. But they had to put his business out on the street.
I don't know if that does him dirty. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you don't give a reason, people ask about it all year. And then if you don't give a reason, people start making up their own reasons, and it could actually make things worse for them.
True.
Especially if you're going to suspend them for a year. You suspend somebody for a year, you feel like, hey, man, this dude had to do something that was so atrocious that, I'm surprised he still has a job. So if you go months without telling anybody why you suspended your coach that took you to the finals last year for a year, and you give no reason, I mean, by the time you let people make up enough rumors, he gonna be a crackhead that was, skimming off the top or something, like, he's
Pookie. But
I mean, I'm not gonna say he did anybody dirty. I'm just gonna say it just feels weird. It feels weird that we're in a place where, and this is completely me without any information, because of course they didn't really say anything other than in a relationship with somebody a sexual relationship with somebody within the organization, which is a violation of team rules. That's what they said. I'm sure other things have leaked out, but nobody has definitive answers. I'm just going to say it feels really weird to be in a place where we've had owners, general managers, quarterbacks with sexual misconduct allegations get less time than this guy who supposedly, based on all sources, had a consensual relationship with somebody within the organization. He's suspended for a year. That just feels weird to me. I get it. It's team rules. And hey, it could be some underlining stuff under there. Maybe it wasn't consensual. Maybe some other stuff happening that I don't know. I'm just saying surface level. It feels really weird when we can have owners of football teams and massage parlors that are part of sexual rings. New England Patriots. We can have. I mean, we have a quarterback who had like 20,000 sexual allegations against him.
We have Dan Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many other people doing things that, I mean, not trying to compare it, but just on the surface level, seem a little bit more egregious than two people cheating on their spouses within the organization. Like I said, just feels weird. Don't have all the information. And to be honest, I don't really care enough to really
it ain't my team.
have an opinion. Even if it was my team, like these are people at the end of the day, and this is their personal lives. And if you're not talking about anybody committing a crime, I'm not really inclined to care that much.
And I think that's the weird part, because like I feel like that. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, you sleeping with a staffer or somebody else in the organization gets you suspended for a year. Why don't you just fire him? But I think you don't fire him because, hey, maybe somebody will trade for a coach and give me that draft pick. I think that's the stupidest shit ever.
Yeah,
that you can trade for a draft pick for a coach.
I don't think that's why they didn't fire him.
Why didn't they fire him? I don't understand.
I don't know. And no, I'm just saying I don't know. And
because it doesn't make sense.
Because they probably don't want to fire him.
But suspended for a year is better.
I mean, to be honest, it could be.
I mean, then what's stopping him from quitting after he gets his money? Because clearly he's probably suspended with pay, or he just would have quit.
No, I don't think he's suspended with pay.
Then why is he still why does he just quit? Because
Local Cowboy just put up there, and I heard the same thing, that it was the wife of a senior VP within the organization.
Oh, and they did, from what I understand.
And she was in charge of travel. So she was booking travel for him and his wife. She was actually booking.
No, I think they are engaged.
Oh yeah, they've been engaged since 2015. Yeah, but she was actually booking,
which is crazy, right? You've been engaged
she was actually booking travel for them to move to Boston and everything. So that's, I mean, hey, look, that's one way. That's one way to make sure you ain't gonna get caught.
Let me go ahead and put that allegedly.
It's I mean, look, man. Like I said, my only surface level statement on this is, if there is nothing that is criminal about this, it just feels really, really inauthentic and weird that we've had people with actual criminal investigations get less suspension than this dude. Than this, once again, no actual criminal investigation got suspended for a year, when we got dudes trying to get people to jerk them off during massages, getting guaranteed contracts.
Oh no.
And hold on. That getting jerked off in massage parlor, I could be talking about a black person or NFL owner.
I mean, that's true.
Exactly. And neither one of them are going to be suspended for an entire year.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah. So, and I guess I'm going to end this with saying this, brother. We say it numerous times, and it's something that we'll forever say, because it's never going to be wrong. The internet never loses. So, of course, those of you who are fans of Kanye West, somebody pulls up the Touch the Sky video, and in the Touch the Sky video, Nia Long's in there. And the story is that Kanye West was like Evel Knievel type of deal, and he went ahead and got himself Pamela Anderson Lee as his girlfriend. So, of course, Nia Long and Tracy Ellis Ross are there, and Nia Long steps to Kanye West, is like, you left me, you went and got a white girl? And she's like, do you know who I am? He says something to her and calls her by name. And she's like, do you know who I am? He's like, yeah, I just
said
called you
your
by
name.
name.
I
Yeah.
just said your name, Nia.
She's like, I'm Nia. She's like, I'm Nia motherfucking Long. And then, of course, Tracy Ellis Ross in the background. She Nia motherfucking Long. I was weak. Somebody put that up there, put how Ume Adoka feels. I was like, bruh. Like,
I mean, look, man.
the internet don't lose, man. Never.
It's funny as that troll is. At the end of the day, man, I just don't like hearing about people's personal lives for any reason at work. And that's why I said, like, on surface level, the fact that this dude is getting fired for something to me that seems like
I ain't fired, suspended
for a personal matter. Like, you can say it breaks team rules, but God, I feel like I'm about to agree with Paul Pierce. But Paul Pierce literally just put on his Twitter page, how come you don't just fine the dude? Like, you don't fire him for this. Like I said, now, once again, I don't have all the details. There could be some egregious stuff on the back end that we're not privy to. I'm just simply saying on the surface level, feels kind of weird to suspend somebody for consensual sex.
And then the thing they did, they said, I think they said in the press conference, that the other person will not receive any penalties. And I'm just like, hold on, player. Maybe she came to him.
Don't matter.
No, I understand that.
He's the guy. It's always his fault.
And I understand that. But I guess the other thing is,
and I guess you'll say if anybody's in a position of power, I guess it would be more so him in a position of power. So I guess the responsibility does lie on him.
If she's the wife of the senior vice president,
who's getting paid more? Who's getting paid more? It's probably him.
Him. But she's got stroke, man. She's a wife of the senior vice president.
Obviously.
I see what you did there. But yeah.
This is no laughing matter. Stop making jokes about this, man. These people's lives we're talking about.
Man, whatever, man. Like, I guess we'll see how much longer Nia Long's engaged. I mean, maybe she's gonna stand by her man.
Man, I just don't care. Like, I don't care about all the people that are just like, oh, this is so horrible for her. I don't care about all the people that's like, this is so horrible for him. Like, these are two people,
grown-ass people,
their personal lives, man. Like,
and they've been engaged for 7 years. I didn't know that.
You don't know any of the details on this. And plus, hey, like, let's be honest, man. Like, and this gonna say, okay, yep, here it is. I'm about to be the asshole. Like, hey, man, like, old boy gonna be all right. He recruited Nia Long, and you didn't even know who this motherfucker was.
Exactly.
He was in the league for years, and I follow basketball. I didn't know who this nigga was.
He was a journeyman. he had a true name of a journeyman.
Yo, this dude popped up, and he was like, hey, he with Nia Long, and I just think, man, this dude got the gift of gab right there, bro.
Or he got the stroke.
And
both. They got a kid.
Once again, I'm just saying, like, hey, man, he gonna be all right because he's an excellent recruiter, apparently.
Yeah.
An excellent recruiter.
And he recruited Nia motherfucking Long. Nia Long! Bro.
That is a long-ass engagement, though, boy. God.
7 years? Yeah, if Nia Long would have went on Steve Harvey's show and asked about it, he'd have told her to get rid of his ass.
I mean, Steve Harvey don't want nobody to be in a relationship. I've just realized based on Steve Harvey logic, like, he don't want nobody to be in no relationship.
Not for 7 years, bro.
Based on his logic, he don't want nobody to be in no relationship. Period.
If you ain't got a ring in 7 years, like, what? Like, I mean, I don't even understand. Like, I'm just being real. As a man who is single, I can't sit here, give an engagement ring, and 7 years later we ain't married. Like, I can't do that. I just could you have done that, Moby?
I mean, after a while, I figured, hey man, how about you just give me the ring back? We sell that junk and let's just go on vacation. Because I honestly, this marriage thing ain't like we don't really care. No, we don't really care about this marriage thing. We've been together for 7 years engaged. Like, hey, give me that ring back. Let's go. You know, if you want to be married, we just go to Justice of Peace. Just call this thing a day. A couple more years will be common law anyway. Let's just say F it.
I mean, maybe they were waiting for him to make it big in the pros because he was a journeyman.
I mean, he made it big already as a coach.
But he probably won't get paid nothing last year. So he was probably looking for that. He was probably looking for that big money. And then next thing you know.
Why are we waiting for him to get money? Don't she got money? How come he can't mooch off of her?
Man, don't get me started on that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And you know what? The real winner in this is Nia Long because she didn't get married to him. Because if they were married and she had to go through a divorce, she might have to pay him.
Half HALF. Half. I mean, you know, ask Jessica Simpson. She married Nick Lachey with no prenup. They got a divorce. He took half of that joint strong.
Nigga's that guy because you don't even see him no more. He just out somewhere counting money.
Yo, he went and got himself a finer wife.
I mean, whatever.
I mean, she is. But still.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
once again, you know, some people are good at recruiting. Jessica Simpson, Vanessa Manillo. I mean, that's not a downgrade.
You say so. I mean, look, recruiting is recruiting, man. ABC, babe. Always be recruiting.
Always be Oh, my God. Black Watch House. They laughed at Will Smith when he was crying at the table, so not laugh at her because she's a woman. Not feel sorry for her. They always want to feel sorry for the woman. They don't give a fuck about me.
I mean, look, Black Patricia Adams, you're not wrong. But see, I didn't laugh at anybody. I'm just even across the board. Like, I'm not laughing at nobody for anything, man. Like, I just don't care. I'm not shedding any tears either. It's just like, hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. It's not affecting any part of my life. Like, I don't care if he was smashing every chick that was in Boston. Don't care at all.
Well, you know what? Before we go, one last thing. Hey, look, man, if you're going to smash somebody, you smash the highest chick in the building. I mean, once again, like you said.
See, I'm going to disagree with you because I'm going to be like, yo, if you got, and then this goes back to like, you know, what a comment I made the other week. But honestly, man, if you got the good job and you in the corporate office, like, bro, you can't find no outside pussy. I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong. I made the statement, like, hey, we've all done some things for vagina that we aren't proud of. We made some questionable decisions over vagina. But like, bro, like, you got too much money and too many connections to not be able to find one outside source. Like, just one.
Yeah. Black Watch Adams is funny. She knew around engagement year 4 that the motherfucker cheated because ain't no motherfucking way.
I'm just gonna let you know there has never been a more judgy creature created than a woman. Because boy, these are some judgmental statements right here, boy.
Straw.
We not doing none of that. We live in allegation world, and we say things like allegedly, and she's like, ain't no motherfucking way. She making definitive statements. The only thing she need to type in after that is facts. God, I hate when black people do that. When black people say something that's clearly an opinion, and then they say facts. Like, bruh, like, do you know what a fax is? Like, did somebody just send you a fax? Did you just read this off of a fax? Like, because that's not what a fact is. God, like, did you say FAX or FACTS?
And honestly, that's funny that her statement says by year 4 because they've been engaged for 7 years, which means who's Boo Boo the fool now? You stayed.
Why anybody gotta be a fool? Like, cause let's be honest, man.
But no, man. What I'm saying though is you engaged to this dude. You ain't married to this dude. You engage. There is no legal. The only legal connection y'all have is that baby. And you know what? That's what courts are for if you want to go that route. But, if you knew he was cheating and you stayed, it'd be different if you had nothing. But I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Look, man, we being so presumptuous because how we ain't know she ain't out here smashing half of LA too. Like,
exactly.
Like,
maybe they got an open relationship.
Obviously it won't open. Because I'm just saying, obviously it won't open.
The problem is,
I don't think this comes out if it's open.
The only problem is Udoka just smashed the wrong chick.
Ain't that always the problem with guys? Ain't that really always like our major downfall?
Because, man, you should never poop where you eat, man. Never. And he learned the hard way. And so did she. But
man, we
now it's all
much
crazy.
Time talking about such an irrelevant topic. I was hoping to go the whole show without talking about this, and you.
Sorry, man. I don't have choices. She played the long game. Now she ain't got to pay it, and she gonna get that child support like she needed. She's gonna do it for spite. Hey, man. All I'm saying is, hey, people, if you gonna do that dirt, don't let nobody know. Don't get caught either.
All I'm saying is, I don't care.
All right. So let's get into the show. 36 after. But so today we're gonna do some first thing on your mind, and this is funny. It's funny that we talked about what we talked about. So once again, first thing on your mind, I'm gonna read the title of the article, and Mo B is gonna tell me the first thing on his mind. And if you'd like to play along, you can type 2. So, Article 1. We got 2 articles today. Article 1. She faked her kidnapping to go back to her ex. Now she'll get 18 months in prison. First thing on your mind, Mo B.
Wait. She faked the kidnapping to go back to her ex-man?
Yeah.
I bet that nigga ain't hitting it right.
I mean, clearly somebody won't hit it right. Because, yeah. And she played the long game and she failed. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess what I want to know is, before you even go into the arc, what I want to know is, like, was the dude she was with abusive or something? Because if he's not like abusive or possessive or anything like that, why not just be like, I'm gonna go be with this dude and not you? Or why not do what most normal people do and just like block his number and just block his number and never talk to him again and send him that generic text? It's me, not you. And I think this is for the best. You'll find somebody for you. I just really need to go find myself with his penis in my mouth, not yours.
So
I wonder if old dude's gonna wait for her for 18 months though. I faked the kidnapping for you. Hey baby, but like 18 months a long time. Man. Like,
we get conjugal.
Yeah, but I ain't got gas money to come up there because obviously the nigga can't have no money.
Well, this happened in Sacramento, California. And the woman was a Northern California mother of 2, was sentenced Monday to 18 months in prison for faking her own kidnapping so she could go back with a former boyfriend, which led to a 3-week multi-state search before she resurfaced on Thanksgiving Day in 2016. Yes, this happened 6 years ago.
Bruh, why couldn't she just be like, tell at least one of your girlfriends, hey, I'm about to go kick it with this other dude. That's it. You tell one person that you about to just be missing and you didn't fake a kidnap. All you gotta do is tell one person.
Just a white person. Like, what is that?
I mean, yeah, honestly, this does reek of some WPS.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. So
once again, that's also why I specified, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't laughing at I wanted to make sure I wasn't laughing at a possible like abusive domestic spouse thing. Like, hey, if you fake the kidnapping trying to get away from somebody being abusive, I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? But if you just did it because like you was tired of this nigga shit and you just wanted to go back with the old dude you was with, like I feel like there was so many more better ways you could have did this. Like,
well, I mean, yeah. So she pleaded guilty last spring. She's 40 years old.
oh, she left the kids with the other dude too?
She left kids with her husband, or
I just thought about that. Yeah, you're right. This won't even about him.
yeah, it
She
was
was
about
just
the kid getting away from kids.
She was just like, hey, I need me a mom break. I need me a mom
Well,
cation.
that and she wants some other penis. So
Well, that's part of the momcation.
okay.
She wanted to get her groove back.
She's also, because she lied to the FBI. She staged the abduction and lied to the FBI about it. As part of her plea bargain, she's required to pay more than $300,000 of restitution.
How you lie to the FBI?
Like, I mean,
so the FBI was like, "Hey, did you get kidnapped?" And she was like, "Yeah." I'm just saying, like, when the FBI asked you, "Hey, did you get kidnapped?" All you really had to do is be like, "Nah, I just didn't want to be around for a minute," and they'd be like, "Oh, okay. We was looking for you, right? My bad." You know what I'm saying? My bad.
I mean, multi-state search.
I probably should have called somebody, but
Probation officers and her attorney have recommended she spend a month in custody and 7 months in supervised home detention, while prosecutors wanted 8 months behind bars. So the senior district judge said he opted for an 18-month sentence in order to deter others. So hold on, player.
He really needed to sentence her to 18 months of being in the same room with her kids all the time. Obviously, she was trying to get away from the kids. Like,
wow. So apparently, they searched for her for 4 years.
And the story, for 4 years?
It was going for 4 years. And those around her lived in fear because of fake stories. She was abducted by 2 Hispanic women. And of course, you know what the cops did? They went to the Latino community and it was like, break down your doors. I mean, they thought it was Compton, probably down there. And she lied. Because at least she didn't say black people, but that's just as bad. And yeah, man. And they were just like, nah, man, this affected a whole lot of people other than your punk ass. 18 months. But
like I said, man, all she had to do was tell one person.
It carried a maximum possible sentence of 25 years. So she got 18. Wait a minute. She ordered her to serve 36, so 18 per charge. 36 months supervision after her release, a year longer than the probation officers had sought. I mean, yeah, you can't be lie that you abducted and expect us to be free. So, yeah. And you're right. That's a good call, KB Yako. That's why she did a plea deal, because I could see them hitting her with a hate crime on that.
Yeah.
Especially because 4 years, man, they destroyed the Latino community probably. I mean, so they're just all like, we don't trust your ass now. I mean, all she had to do is say, yeah, it was 2 black women. Yeah, whatever. But yeah. So the second article, first thing on your mind, I need to look at his face because this is about to be real funny. North Dakota woman charged after bringing a raccoon into a bar.
I mean, white people shit.
I mean, of course, but yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else to say to that. That's.
So she brought a wild raccoon into a North Dakota bar. So
was it on a leash?
No. But it prompted state health officials to issue a warning about potential rabies exposure.
Warning?
Which means everybody had to get shots. Everybody who was in there. And they charged her with misdemeanor counts of providing false information to law enforcement, tampering with physical evidence, and unlawful possession of fur bearers. First of all, hold on, player. Tamper with evidence? What? And then you lied to the cops? I ain't do that. What? And She was arrested last week after authorities found her in the raccoon. She was still with the raccoon, and they served her several search warrants around the city. She said that her family found a raccoon on the side of a road 3 months ago, named it Rocky. She said they would nurse the animal back to health with plans to release it back into the wild. It is illegal in North Carolina, North Dakota, to keep a wild raccoon, and authorities euthanized the animal and tested negative for rabies. And during happy hour,
Do they have to put a distinction on wild raccoon? Because essentially, if it's a raccoon, is it classified as wild?
I would think so.
Because I don't think
know
there's
any
a
domesticated ones.
Yeah, I don't think there's a domesticated raccoon. Not saying that they can't be, but I feel like they're all classified.
Well,
as
it's against the law to have one. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So basically,
Why not just say it's against the law to have a damn raccoon? Like,
quit
all that cooning.
Quit all
that
cooning. Oh, that's bad. Luckily, this is North Dakota. So she took it in during happy hour, and showed the raccoon to customers. The animal never bit anybody at the bar, but you never know, because the raccoon saliva, because I mean, look, man, if there's one thing,
like, nah, man, I am not privy on raccoon affairs. I'm just not.
I mean, I'm not either.
But the only, like, when you say raccoon, I think about like Resident Evil, just because it was Raccoon City. That's it. That's about all the raccoons I know. Like, I'm
Hector Elsmeralda. I don't.
And yes, I have seen the video with them black kids holding the raccoons, and I just, every time I see that video, I just think they got too many white friends, man. There's no other explanation, and that might not even be true, but that's like just what I've told myself as minority. Like, they got too many white friends. Like, there's no way.
Shout out to cousin Larry. Yeah, he's laughing at domesticated raccoon comment. I mean, bro, you took a raccoon into an area, and people probably kiss the damn thing, like they be doing with the dogs, man.
Yeah, because somebody thought it was cute. Somebody was like, that raccoon is so cute.
Yo, first of all, is that not the nastiest shit ever? Like, I understand it's a dog, but bro, all up in your mouth? No.
My dogs know. Neck down, you cool. You get neck above with your licking, nah, got a problem. Like, literally, if I put my face in my dog's face, my dog will literally they'll both turn their face away. Because they know, like, nah, we don't do that.
Nah, that's so nasty. And I mean, yeah, man, that's nasty. Like, honestly, if I was messing with a girl and I saw her dog lick her in the face, I'd probably get up and walk out. Like, that's disgusting.
I mean, I don't think you'd be there because there'd be a dog there. So
that's true, but I mean, but still.
Or if you was dating a chick that had a dog, I would make the bold presumption that she has some outstanding vagina, because that's the only way. That's the only thing that can make most men overcome such an irrational fear that you have of something. It has to be outstanding, and you had to experience that outstanding shit before you knew she had a dog, because you wouldn't even venture to cross that line.
Nah, you're right. you ain't wrong about that.
But if you experience that good stuff, she'd be like, I got a dog, and you'd be like, we can make it work. I mean, we'll figure it out.
And I'll say,
then you'd be like, is it a big dog? I mean, we'll figure it out.
I mean, I guess I probably would if she let me do it with my penis. So that's what it is. But no, that dog licking in the face shit is nasty, and that's not cool. That's not cute. None of that. So I don't care. That shit's nasty. So. All right, Moby, what you got for us, man?
All right, man. So I have been
inspired. Hold on.
Yeah.
You got a paper? You got a
yeah, man. I prepped for this, man.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. I've been inspired. So for some reason, there's a feed that keeps coming across. Every time I go on YouTube, apparently YouTube has figured out that it knows how to capture my attention.
Okay.
And to be honest, I hate that they write. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that the algorithm be right. But there's a podcast, and I don't necessarily want to give it life, but I'm going to give it life. Let me get the podcast name. So if anybody wants to hear some of this tomfoolery, that they can go to it as well.
Tomfoolery.
But the podcast is called See the Thing Is podcast. And it is two ladies, and they talking. I mean that's what a podcast is.
Hold on, stop for a second. What race are they?
They're black.
All right.
Okay, so
now I have an idea where this is going.
No, so like this segment is going to be affectionately called "Make Me Understand," and the reason I'm saying "Make Me Understand" is because I want to make sure.
Heads to YouTube.
No, I just want to make sure that this doesn't come off as me bashing women, because I'm not, and I'm also not going to typecast women into thinking that these two chicks speak for all y'all. Like, we hear most women do on their podcast about men. So I'm not going to do that to y'all. But I just want y'all to make me understand this. So there's a clip, which I'm assuming, no, I'm not even going to assume that. It's probably taking out of context to a degree. But the two ladies who are normally the host had a guest who apparently they're friends with. And she made a generic statement.
Oh, God.
If I was a nigga with a lot of money, I would be a trick. I'd be a trick ass nigga. If the pussy is really good, if the pussy really hitting, I would be like, let me tell you how good your pussy is. And I would just be an all out trick. So one of the hosts says, so hold on. You would do that for a woman, but you won't do that for a guy? And both of the other two women almost in unison said, I ain't tricking on no nigga. So the other chick, the chick who was saying she'd be a trick, proceeds to go with her most recent story. Now, please allow me to read the entire story before the congregation comments. I just bought one of my Houston babes a Gucci wallet. That was a lot for me. But here's the thing. Here's what happens. My body be talking and my pussy just dries up. Every time it gets real dry and confused. Now my body is not in unison because of what I just did at the mall. Now my body isn't in alignment because I just spent all this money on him. And then the other host who asked the other, poignant question says, well, maybe that's because this isn't your man, or, this isn't your special person. And she goes, no, I really love him. And the other girl goes, no, she really loves him. End story. Now, make me understand this. I just bought one of my Houston bays. So this statement right here implies that not only do you have multiple bays, you got multiple bays in different area codes because you specify Houston. But that's not part of the story either. So you spent money on a Gucci wallet. Now I looked up some prices on a Gucci wallet. Now there's some low-end Gucci wallets, couple hundred. There's some high-end Gucci wallets that you can ball out of control.
Couple hundred.
But yo ignorant ass says that's a lot for you. I bet you expect a nigga to take you out to a restaurant for dinner costing more than that damn Gucci wallet you just spent on one of your Houston bays. Make me understand. Why she think her pussy so valuable if they quote unquote ain't tricking on no nigga?
First of all, I can't make you understand that because I that ain't here.
So what I'm trying to understand is why there is a certain sect of female out there that feels as if it is okay. Yo, put that up there, and we got to read that comment. So Black Morticia Adams just struck us with some gold. So her pussy got eczema from all the Tom, Dick, and Harry she taken. That's why it's drying up. Now, I'm glad you beat me to that, Black Morticia Adams, because I was really going to go there. But also, I wasn't trying to slut shame a female because I've heard that's a bad thing. The only
Well, she
people
did
that
it. So
the only people that are allowed to be slut shamed are men. So since you're a woman, I guess it's okay. So thank you for saying what we could not. I mean, even though I said it, but I was just reading yours, so like I ain't really say it. I was just like agreeing.
out the mouth of somebody else.
Yeah, I just ain't want to be canceled
Oh
again.
God. Again.
I mean, I don't want nobody to call me a sexist again.
That's crazy, right? Like, yeah.
So no, here make me understand this. So, right, my body be talking. My pussy just dries up thinking about what I just did for you at the mall. Allow me to speak for all of the dudes who ain't quote unquote out here tricking on pussy. My penis gets erectile dysfunction when I listen to women like you just fucking speak. Just in general. Like I feel like if she would have been in my presence talking to me, I would have needed somebody to crush up some Viagra and put it in my drink. Just so my penis wouldn't just go inside of me and turn into a vagina. Like honestly, I feel like she not only could talk me into erectile dysfunction, she could talk me into believing I don't have a penis anymore
Oh
because
God.
that type of ignorant ass shit is, and the thing is, I'm not insulting her for thinking like this or talk like what's bothering me is this is a very popular podcast. So that means, and most people don't listen to podcasts to disagree with the people. Most people listen to podcasts because they agree.
Oh, they funny.
Or at least find it funny. Because I listen to it because now every time one of their clips come up, I gotta listen to it because I'm just like, they're gonna give me one. They're gonna give me something.
I mean,
and they gave me another one today. So next sheet. Hold on.
Oh, you can say it for next week.
No. It's a quick one. There's a phrase that she used, and she said it's a real thing because she said a therapist told her about it. So it's got to be real. So it's called flower PTSD.
The rapist for two.
Flower PTSD.
What?
So she
Like cooking
said,
flour?
no, flowers, like actual flowers, like
Okay.
flower PTSD, because she says men have weaponized flowers because they know women like getting flowers. You know, we just like getting flowers for no reason, just because it makes us feel good. But men have weaponized that. So when we tell men that we want flowers, you know what men do? They don't listen. So they reserve getting flowers only for when something bad happens as a way to get back in. So now they have weaponized the fact that we like flowers and have made it so that flowers are now a weapon to get back in. How the fuck what type of planet Earth shit is this where we are weaponizing flowers? No, we are doing. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Let me bring it down. Okay, no. Flowers are not weaponized. Flowers are men's attempt at trying to just figure out what the fuck we did wrong sometimes. Like honestly, as a guy who's been in a woman's space, yeah, because this house is a woman's space.
Oh yeah, that's true. You don't do that.
Exactly. So as a guy who's been in a woman's space, sometimes I know I don't know what the hell I did wrong. I just know I did something wrong. And if my wife really, really was the type of person that really liked flowers, I probably would sometimes just give some flowers. And I wouldn't be doing it as a weapon. It's a damn peace offering. It's basically like, hey, could you now tell me why you're mad at me? Because, you know, it's just a ridiculous concept for me as a man to think you would tell me why you're mad at me. And, you know, us dumb men, we can't figure out because, you know, we haven't been blessed with mind reading abilities like apparently women have been. So now, Ruben, if you get a young lady some flowers because you think you messed up past babyface,
man,
now you are weaponizing flowers.
That's awesome.
Because you know what men don't do? Listen. Well, as a guy who has no fear of being called a sexist after this segment now. I would like to speak for a lot of men when I say, women, y'all don't do a very effective job of listening either. Because I know for fact that a lot of guys have said something, maybe not as vulgar as what I'm about to say, but pretty much along the same lines. Like, what would really make me happy on my day off? Some sex and some shut the fuck up.
I knew that's what exactly you were gonna say.
But you know what? Sometimes y'all don't do that well. Listen, and you know what you do? You weaponize sex, because now I only get sex on special occasions or when you think you messed up.
Not day and night when you think of him.
So please, someone make me understand.
I can't. We're just not gonna try. It's just, man, we ain't gonna never understand that, man, because they already crazy.
And once again, this is not a segment in which I feel like all women think that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women just heard what I said and think, man, what the fuck are they talking about? And for y'all women out there, thank you. Thank you for making me not feel like just a complete asshole. But for the women who listen to what they say and be like, I feel just like that they feel, please help me understand. How the fuck did we get here?
I mean, of all the things we could weaponize, we weaponize flowers? Yeah. That's it.
And the other chick said, hey, if men can do anything, I mean, they can weaponize flowers. And I was just like, shit, I guess we got superpowers that we didn't even know about.
We weaponize flowers. What if you don't like flowers? Then we can't weaponize.
Hey, see, that's my problem. See, because my wife don't really care. I mean, she likes flowers, but like, I ain't gonna get back in on those flowers. Like,
nah, you gonna do something else.
Yeah. So I can't just do the whole generic. Let me go get some roses, some candy.
But let's be real. If you get back in on flowers, then she would either A, not mad at you, or B, she just wanted you to get her flowers.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it.
Exactly.
This sounds like those girls sound like how the city girls rap. Yeah. God, man, they're terrible. And Diddy's dating one of them, and I don't know how to feel about that.
I mean, he likes them young.
I guess Cassie got too old. I mean, whatever.
Just a matter of time before we get that sexual inappropriate allegation from Diddy. Just a matter. I'm just saying because when you in your late 20s and you dating young chicks, cool. When you're in your mid 30s, you dating young chicks, cool. When you getting in close to 50 and you pulling out chicks who just got their ID to drink, we getting close to Creep Town. Getting close to Creep Town.
I mean, the thing about it, he did it, man. He's the black Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm just saying.
No, that's right. That's
exactly what you just said.
I
too.
didn't see it. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
I'm just saying, look, I'm not trying to say Diddy out here doing nothing illegal or anything. I'm just saying we getting real close to, like, technically, Morgan Freeman ain't doing nothing illegal when he's dating that young chick that was like, what, his stepdaughter or some shit like that. I mean, she was legal, but it still seems really effing creepy. Seems really effing creepy. So,
man,
how old does Diddy have to be before his dating habits start to seem a little creepy?
I mean,
look, I know that Noxzema, whatever he was doing, helps preserve his sexy, but not like that, Betty. Not like that. You can't be close to 60 and you coming up to chicks, who going to their first frat party.
But he can, because you know what? He paid, and he lives by his mantra. Take that.
Sure.
So,
I guess if I was a dude with a whole bunch of money, I'd be a tricking ass.
Well, I mean, I guess she wasn't really lying about every man, because Diddy is probably.
Once again, she was not lying about every man. Just like I don't want to assume that these chicks are speaking for every woman, but make me understand, because that shit just seems dumb as shit to me.
I can't make you understand, because.
And literally, I can do a segment about a podcast clip that they do literally every week. And
we don't
look,
do that.
I'm not a fan of what they're talking about, but god damn it, it's interesting. It's interesting to hear these people be so committed to, in my opinion, stupidity.
That's what I was thinking. That's the exact word I was thinking. But I mean, they say the same thing about us too.
Oh, of course. Republicans and Democrats. That's all
Yeah.
men and women are right now. Just
I mean, let's be real, man. There's a time where, like, everybody wishes, in the grand scheme of things, they were paid. But then it's stuff like that, which I'm glad that I'm not like super paid. Because
see, once again, we've already talked about, like, if I was paid, God, I'd be so petty. I'd be so like the only reason I'm not petty is because I'm broke. But Lord knows if one day I come irresponsibly paid.
Is that why you don't play the lottery just so you don't have to ever feel that?
If I ever get super paid, the level of petty that will transpire will be newsworthy. Like, I will make newsworthy petty events.
Yeah, you'll be officially pettier than me. And I'm petty and I'm poor.
No, see, you more of a hate inspired petty. My petty wouldn't even be out of hate. Like, my petty would just be out of shits and giggles. Like, I would just find it amusing to be extra petty to certain groups of people.
All right. Well, that's interesting. So, with that being said, thank you. What's on your mind?
So, look, we as parents have a responsibility as parents.
Yeah, man. Black Morticia Adams said that segment was the pettiest thing we've ever done.
I mean, you might not be wrong. And look, I won't allow Ruben to take credit for that petty.
Nah.
That was me. He had nothing to do with that. He was just an innocent bystander along my petty train. Like, it happened.
I got a petty shot.
But Black Morticia Adams, if you think that segment was petty, make me understand why I was wrong.
She can't.
I mean, if you can do that, I'll just be like, hey, I'm sorry. And I'll cut the petty out. But no, what's on my mind is we as parents have a responsibility to at least pretend to our kids that we aren't dumbasses. We should at least pretend. And what sparks this is I'm at a rec football game. It's a 11 and under football game, so it's 11 and 10-year-olds. And then after us, our 12 and 13-year-olds play. So we go way out into the middle of nowhere, Powhatan, which is like west of Richmond, about 45 minutes. It's a lot of nothingness and
a little bit of deliverance.
Yeah, a lot of white people.
God, man.
No. Hold on. I wasn't. It's a lot of white people, and then there's some other minorities sprinkled in there. But for the most part, when our team came out there, which is nothing but black and brown, I'm pretty sure that was the most color that had been in that particular zip code in quite some time. So we get there, and we have 2 football games back to back. Now, Powhatan is just like most rural areas. They love them some football. They love them some kids. They got a lot of dads out there with their cowboy hats, their flannel shirts, and their cowboy boots, and I'm not making a stereotypical thing. There was a lot of that out there. The parking lot was full of pickup trucks, a lot of 250s, 350s, Dodge Rams. It looked like an all-American commercial. And the one thing that they cared about was football and family. And really quickly, it only took one thing to go wrong for them to forget that they cared about either of them. So after the 11-year-olds beat their kids 35-0,
which is the team your daughter's on.
Yes. So then our senior level team, which is the 12 and 13-year-olds, proceeds to beat them. Well, is beating them 35-0 in the third quarter. And to be honest, the game really isn't that close. So it's getting a little chippy. During our game, one of our players ran over one of their kids so bad, the dude's helmet almost came off. The ref ended up calling a penalty, saying that our running back lowered his helmet. He didn't. He's just a big dude, and he ran the dude over. Well, one of the parents from the other sideline, because it happened on the other sideline, started saying shit to the kid. Now, this big giant of a running back that we have is a mild mannered, very quiet kid. I don't know what was said over there, but this kid took his helmet off and pointed into the crowd and yelled out some obscenity to the point we had to pull him off
The
field.
11-year-old?
Yes, and now once again, as a coach, I'm we're like, hey, get back on the sideline. Hey, I grab him and I'm like, what? He's like, hey, they were talking. I'm like, hey, don't worry about that. Come over here, shut the hell up. Like, let's get out of here. I got to be the one to say, hey, these white people are already mad. We kicking their ass. Let's just win and go home. So the senior levels play. It's getting a little chippy. One of our really big guys on the senior team, the whistle blows. There's still some shoving going on, and he's a giant dude. He throws one of their kids down. Ref throws the flag. He deserved the flag. Now, he didn't do anything afterward. He shoved the dude down. One of the parents on the other bleachers runs onto the fucking field and flexes in front of this kid. Now, first of all, we come from a very, very different age of kids. These kids that we have, yes, they look the part that these white people thought, which they probably thought, hey, they brought all these thugs down here. None of our kids are that. And I have the proof that none of our kids are that, because back on some of the teams I played with on this age, if a parent would have ran on the field like that, the kids would have started kicking their ass, and then the parents would have started pulling out them things. Now, I'm not ignorant enough to think that those Powhatan folks didn't have a whole bunch of them things in their pickup trucks too, but they'd had to get there. So what I'm saying is, as a parent, we gotta act like we got some damn sense. Now, luckily, nothing popped off. The referees literally called the game immediately afterwards. The other coaching staff literally started cussing their own parents out. Like, we could see that they were pissed off at the parent for doing that. Everybody got out. Nothing happened afterwards. But in my head, I just kept thinking, if anything would have popped off out here, I know how the story would have been told. Those black and brown people came all the way out to Powhatan and started shit. Now, does that make me happy? No. Does it make me sad? Not really. It's just what I expect. But I'm never ceased to be amazed at how poorly adults act at children events. Like, I'm not saying I'm the greatest parent in the world. I'm not saying that I don't have the capacity or the ability to just straight lose it over something. A football game in which a kid gets shoved down and a referee throws a flag and nothing else transpires afterwards, I don't think would have inspired me to run on the field. And I'm so glad that this wasn't in Portsmouth, Virginia. Hell, I'm so glad that this game wasn't at our home field, which is border Southside Richmond, and that parent would have ran on the field at our spot, because we got some well-mannered parents, but I think they acting, because I heard how they was talking in the bleachers. Like, and I saw the buds of some things on people's waist, and I was just like, thank God we didn't get there. But parents, man, please, man, if your kids are doing something, just let your kid enjoy the kid event, and you just act like you got some damn sense, even if you don't. Because the worst part about rec sports are you motherfuckers. And that's what's on my mind.
Wow. All right. So I'm going to take it a completely different way. Hey, y'all, guess what time it is? It's September. Awesome. You know what happens in about 5 weeks? Yes. It's election day. Now, I get it. I ain't got time. I ain't had time. Hey, guess what? Within the next 4 weeks, you're going to have the opportunity to see a whole bunch of different debates, whether on TV or live. Like, you can go to it. you know, as always, we talk about the importance of voting, and we should just not be voting and paying attention to the presidential election. We need to pay, if not more attention, to our local elections, because when it's all said and done, that's what really affects you, the local elections. So I challenge all of you who listen to this podcast, yo, man, find out what seats are available. Find out who's running. Find out if their debate's going to be on TV, or I can go to a town hall somewhere live. Hey, if you got questions about it, text them, email them. One of my friends that I met years ago doing some other stuff lives in Chesapeake. He's running for the school board. I think it's really awesome. So it's one of those things. He got kids, he got a family, he got kids, and he's just like, some of this crap in the school board is just dumb. So he decided he wanted to run. And, my thing is, everybody deserves a shot. You should hear what they have to say and make your own decision. Don't vote party lines, because let's be real, party lines ain't that straightforward anymore. Know who you're putting in office, because you're going to have to deal with for at least 2 to 4 years. So don't go complaining after election day because the person that you wanted to get elected didn't, and you ain't vote. I got to go to work. Hey, you still got like a week to do absentee ballots. Yo, if you know you got to work that day, go do an absentee ballot. But it's just important to get out there and vote. If you don't vote, I just don't want to hear it. I mean, every adult has an opportunity to vote. If you're not registered to vote, go register to vote. I mean, it's not hard. You may have to have an ID. Guess what? Go get yourself an ID, but go do it. All I'm saying is we control what our local area looks like. If we don't vote, then we are in control of nothing, because those who did vote have the control. Let your voice be heard. Do your due diligence. Go vote. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the show tonight. Apologize for going a little bit over, but it was a very passionate show today on so many different things. We appreciate y'all listening to us. And, of course, I always appreciate Mo B. AG is a little under the weather. Hopefully he'll be back next week with us. So definitely, can't wait for that. But once again, thank you for everybody who's listening. Like I always say, tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody about us. And Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're on Twitch, we're on my Facebook, but more importantly, we're on YouTube. So anybody who's anybody and everybody can find us. You don't got to know me. You ain't got to be my friend. Go to YouTube. Go to Twitch. So once again, to all people, thank you who commented on the board today. Can't wait to see all y'all next week. You know what? We appreciate you. And just like always, I can't remember the line I was about to say. So that's very embarrassing right now.
Just like always.
I forgot.
We up out of here.
Yeah, we leaving. So we'll see you next week. As always, love, peace, hair grease, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of